Hi, it's Mrs. Clark. Welcome to the third and final video in our Unit 1 Characteristics of Numbers. Before we begin, I want to make sure that you're ready. Make sure you have your math notebook and any notes that you need for this video. Make sure you're focused and I have your full attention. If so, let's get started. Today, we are going to look at even and odd numbers, and we're going to take a look at some number patterns when we add and multiply even and odd numbers together. At the end of this video, you will be able to identify and describe the characteristics of even and odd numbers, and you will be able to demonstrate with pictures and explain out loud or in writing why the sum or product of two numbers is either even or odd. Let's review even numbers first. A number is even if it can be put into pairs without any leftovers. Take a look at my picture for the number 8. I have 8 black dots inside orange boxes. If I line them up, each box has a partner. That's why the number 8 is even, because every box has a partner. No one's left out, no one's left over. Another way to know if a number is even is by looking in the ones place. If it has a 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8 in the ones place, your number is even. It doesn't matter what any of the other digits are in your number, as long as you have an even number in the ones place, your whole number is even. See if you can pause the video and think of some other examples of some even numbers you know. Let's review odd numbers. A number is odd if it cannot be put into pairs, meaning there's a guy left out, there's a leftover. And you can see in my picture for number 11 that there's one box with a black dot inside that doesn't have a partner. He's left out, which makes the number 11 an odd number. You also know a number is odd if it has a 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9 in the ones place. Again, it doesn't matter what any of the other numbers are in my number. As long as there is an odd digit in the ones place, your entire number is odd. Go ahead and pause the video and see if you can think of other odd numbers that you know. Now let's take a look at those number patterns. Let's start with addition number patterns. When adding two even numbers together, you're always going to get an even answer. Take a look at the picture. 6 red boxes plus 6 blue boxes equals 12 total boxes. Even plus even is even. That's because every square has a pair. I'm adding an even number with pairs to an even number with pairs, and so everyone's going to have a pair in the end. When I add an odd plus an odd number, I get an even answer. 5 red boxes plus 7 blue boxes equals 12 boxes. You can see in my picture that even though 5 is odd and 7 is odd, those leftover boxes from 5 and 7 get to partner up and make a pair, and now my answer is an even number, 12. Finally, an even number plus an odd number is always going to give me an odd answer. And you can see that in my picture. The 6 red even boxes added with my 5 blue odd boxes gives me an answer of 11, which is odd. That leftover blue box is never going to have a partner, so my answer is going to be odd. Go ahead and pause the video and see if you can think of 3 more examples with the above number patterns. Plug in your own even and odd answers and play around with it and see what happens. Finally, let's take a look at multiplication number patterns, similar to my addition number patterns. Let's take an even times an even number. The example 2 times 2. I know 2 times 2 is 4. When I multiply an even number by an even number, I'm always going to get an even number. And that's because all of my boxes have pairs. I have 2 rows of 2 boxes, meaning every box has a pair, an even number. When I multiply an odd number times an odd number, this is always going to give me an odd answer, and here's why. If I have odd rows with odd pairs, there's always going to be someone left out. Now, I can make a nice square array with 3 times 3 equals 9, but if I were to try and partner up all of those boxes and not put them in groups of 3, someone would be left out. I could make 8 partnerships with one guy left over. So an odd times an odd is always going to give me an odd answer. And finally, an even answer times an odd answer is always going to give me an even answer. And you can see that again with my picture. I have 2 rows of 3 boxes, or 3 rows of 2 boxes, and each box has a partner. You have a pair, you're an even number. Finally, go ahead and pause the video and see if you can think of other numbers to plug in for our even and odd number patterns and multiply them together to see what answers you come up with. So that's our lesson for today. Today we explored even and odd numbers, and we took a look at some addition and multiplication patterns that occur when we multiply and add even and odd numbers together. That's it for today's lesson. I'll see you guys in the next video.